Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm getting into the Hindash Color Fluids. So excited to get into these with you. I got the whole 5-color set from Hindash.com. A lot of options here, neutral colors, a little bit of warm tone, some in between, and we have a light color here that you can sort of dilute and change the color of these other ones. Perfect for me because I am fair skin toned. But we're going to get into these matte liquid products. You can use them all over the face. I'm expecting a lot of versatility with these. I've already used them a little bit, but let's get into it. So starting off, of course, with the details of these color fluids, you can buy them individually. You can buy the set. The set on Hindash includes the lightest shade, which is Canvas. This light one here. This is what the box looks like. All of these set really nicely in here. Really pretty to look at. Nice packaging. And the ingredients and all that are on the back. This lasts 18 months, 100% vegan it says, made in Italy. 5 mils, 0.17 fluid ounces. Net weight, 0.5 grams. That is that. Okay. So those are the details. This set was pricey. This set was 5 colors for $99. You may think, okay, mostly I may use these for a liquid eyeshadow. That's a lot of money per shadow, but I believe there is some savings if you buy the set. If you're interested in all of these colors, I definitely recommend getting the set. Even if you're just interested in the 4 main colors, not the lightest one, I would still consider, if you like this formula, you can just buy one, try it out, fine. If you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna like it, then I would consider picking up the set, because this one, the option to make things lighter I think is nice. And you may think, well, I could just use a concealer. This isn't really the consistency of a concealer, but you can always use whatever you have already to sort of lighten things up if that's something you regularly do anyway. I will note that this set did come with a free little mixing palette here, and it has like a wrist strap, so you can sort of velcro this bad boy on. Somehow I may have put this on wrong, and you put it on your wrist and you can mix up the colors on this plastic palette here, and that's pretty cool. Even if you're not gonna, I mean, cool for foundations, lots of stuff, liquid products. So it came with that, which I think is super helpful. Otherwise, if you go on Beautylish, you purchase your Hindash stuff there, you can get 4 shades. They don't sell this one. There's also Boy Tears. It looks like a similar package, but that is their shimmery product. These are all matte. Just so you guys know, for context, I only have one other Hindash product, which is the Monochromance eyeshadow palette. I was tempted to pick up the Beauty Topsy palette, the darker palette like this, but they were sold out on Hindash's website. Also a $70 palette. I wasn't about to drop $170 on all this, just the 100. This is all I picked up. This is all I was really interested in. As you guys know, Hindash is really into mattes. I personally love combinations of textures, shimmers, but this excited me for whatever reason. I will go ahead and throw up swatches in daylight on my wrist. Hopefully you found those swatches useful. I don't know if you noticed, sort of close up, you could see some of the product was shiny. That means it was in the middle of drying those swatches. I wasn't gonna wait for it to completely dry to do the swatch, but I wouldn't say the color really changes much when it dries. It's just flatter. It's not shiny. It doesn't stay shiny. I will say these colors, this product does dry down pretty quickly. So keep that in mind as I'm doing my demonstration. This isn't something where you would just put all the colors on and then start blending. You do a little section at a time, otherwise you're gonna have a lot of trouble blending out. I'm gonna try using these colors everywhere on my face today as much as possible. I did put my foundation and concealer, my brows on, no powder, and that's it. So we're gonna do a little bit of contour with this Carve shade, the lightest brown shade. I'm a little bit afraid that this may be too dark. I'm gonna use this palette and just do a quick swipe there. I could put this directly on the face, but I want to mix in a little bit of canvas, this light shade here, just to lighten it up a little bit. We're gonna get real creative. I'm gonna get into the demo right away, and I'm gonna mix this up. Then I'm just going to apply kind of a contour. That's too light. Well, maybe not. Kind of a bronzer contour, I guess. Usually my contour is actually darker. I'll apply this first because I don't want to waste it, and then I'll go back in with just the shade straight up and see what this is like. I don't want to use too much. You guys see that? This brush I'm using is the Sonia G Jumbo Concealer. You can certainly use something larger or smaller depending on what you like. All right, here we are. I don't know why I feel like this side is not as dark. Maybe I'm just getting tricked here with this ring light, but okay, now I have some color. A little bit of something. That's probably a bit too much. I'm gonna put some on my forehead. It blends easy, but it dries quickly, so just a little bit at a time. Okay, moving on to this hardest shade, kind of a blushy color. I imagine I'm gonna use this maybe on the lips, but I'm gonna just start this color on the cheeks. I think the most obvious lip color for me is Rising, but I could see using this on my eyes as well, and even the cheeks. I'm not like a huge red or orange cheek sort of person, and not really on the lips either, but we have plenty of other things to mix this with in this kit. But this is a pretty sort of flush shade. You can see things get a little bit harder to blend as you wait. So you really should just apply one at a time. That is very bold now. Bold, bold, bold cheek, maybe a little bit too much. I'm gonna try to blend that a little bit more. It shows up. I like that. Sometimes these multi-purpose products, they're really better in one area or another, but you can see that. You can really, really see that. All right, I want to move on to the lips. So I'll tell you, I have used these products before, mostly these shades, actually these two shades more than anything on my eyes. I really like the way they make my eyes look, like defined, a wash of color, but not obvious. It's still very natural, neutral looking. It's not like I'm really wearing makeup at all, but I am, like I know I am. But it's not super obvious because they're matte and they're very pretty neutral colors. And they're very much like human colors that you would see naturally in the skin. This one I want to be a little bit bold on the eyes this time. And we can sort of play with maybe mixing these together. So I'm gonna start out with this Rising color on the palette. Look at that. I think these two would be a nice combo together. But maybe we'll do some layering just so you can see what this looks like on one eye. This is the texture on the eye. It's almost like, what, I don't know, finger paints, color paint, like color fluid. I want to call it color paint. I feel like that's a better name, but these are really fun. And I think they're easy to work with. Now the brushes I'm using are a fusion of natural and synthetic. These are the Sonia G Fusion series. I want to be careful about going a little bit too wild. Look at that color though, how bold that is. So normally this is not my style. But I just want to show you what you can do with these, how it blends the pigment, the color payoff, how easy it is, how intimidating it is. This color looks intimidating, I get it. Like if you mess up, oh, what do I do? You still have some time to wipe away. See how I'm kind of using my fingers to clean up here? You can also layer on top and it doesn't streak or take away the product underneath. So we have this really nice bold layer. I'm gonna take another brush that's clean and do a little bit more blending. I think we're a little bit more bold on the side. A little more opaque, a little more sheer over here. Anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect. We can do some cleanup afterwards with concealer if we need to, but I mean, look at that color. Intense, right? So we're gonna take it down and I'm gonna use Hardest and put this on the palette again. Here we are, that was the cheek shade I used. And I'm gonna go in on top of this and add I'm gonna tone it down, but still have an intensity here. You can still get that orange. Wow, look at that. Okay, some of you may be thinking, okay, that's still a lot. That's still like a really thick layer of eyeshadow, right? I feel ya. Okay, let's round it out. Let's carve this light brown shade and go underneath the eyes. To me, this is a relatively, it's neutral, but kind of warm brown. I would say not less is more, but a little goes a long way. You don't have to apply a lot of product with this. I think what I'm realizing right now is I put a little bit too much on my eyes that it's a little bit harder with this kind of product to kind of take away and tone down because it's a liquid and it has some staying powder. It's not like a powder eyeshadow. You can kind of brush some of it away and blend and kind of make up for over application. This is a little bit harder for me to do that, but that's not a bad thing. It's just you have to adjust technique. Color on the under eye. So some people like to keep reds and oranges away from the eye area because it can make you look sick, like what is it, conjunctivitis, pink eye. You can kind of give that effect. I'm not too worried about that with these colors, but you know, depending on you and your skin tone, if you have a lot of redness in your skin, I mean, I do, but I don't really care. You may want to stay clear of that, but I'm not too worried because I'm going to add more color. I'm going to add this deep brown thorn, just a little over here. And just add another kind of layered effect. what I like about this is how creative it just kind of fires up your creative engine a little bit with these colors and their blendability and the combination of all of them. It's really nice. So we're getting into muddy territory, like, you know, how many colors can we really like blend together? But I think once you put on the mascara, the eyeliner, and we can even add a little bit of shimmer, although I don't want to take away from this video, it really just sort of gives you like this beautiful natural wash that you don't feel like you really need to do much else. Like, I can throw on mascara and walk out the door. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of brown liner and mascara. All right, I'm back. I have eyeliner, mascara on. I did do some concealer cleanup around the edge here. I am ready for some powder, so I'm gonna do that first before we get into the lips. So I'm using my Prism Libre Givenchy powder and just gonna tone down the shine that I have. I really like the natural color on the cheeks here with those two colors. It's just that kind of from within prettiness. You can of course add more to make it, you know, even more bold, sort of follow that bold cheek trend, but I kind of like it just how it is, especially being fair. A lot of cheek color can be somewhat clownish sometimes. Okay, so here we are, all powdered up, feeling a lot better. Okay, so I have these very obvious lip colors here. I'm thinking about mixing these two together to see what we can come up with for the lips. I think this would be my go-to choice, but you know, I want to get out of the comfort zone, really match the eyes here, more of a monochromatic look. I'm gonna find my MAC lip brush here, mix these together. It kind of makes for a warm corally rose. So the tip for the lips with these is to apply a lip balm first, because it is like a matte formula. Gonna dry the lips out. Very quickly dries down matte. This is a very orange for me, so I'm going to apply more of Hardest on top. I'm not sure this is making a difference. We're just gonna be orange. I like the monochromatic look though. Very pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take some photos, share my final thoughts. All right, here is the final look. So I overdrew my lips, not loving that, but I really like the way the texture of these come out on the skin. It's very natural. It's very much like, oh, this is the color of your skin. This is what it's supposed to look like. Especially on the cheeks, it's almost like seamless. Just very much like, oh, that's how your skin looks. You know, you don't have makeup on, so I love that. On the eyes, I think if I was doing without the orange, it would look even more skin-like, because to me, I don't have a lot of orange in my skin. Some people do though. They have that more golden tone, or red tone even. I really like the texture of these products. I would say that blending, if you have challenges with makeup with blending and you rely on putting things on and blending later, this will be a challenge for you to get used to, because The blending could have been better on that last brown that I put on, especially right here. Once it dries down, pretty hard to really adjust for mistakes and, you know, mistakes in placement. If I were to do this again, I would be a little bit more careful about how much I put on in the first place on the eyes, just because your ability to blend is limited. You can blend, you just have a little bit amount of time. So just keep that in mind. There will be some adjustments if you're not used to, you know, quick drying liquid products, but I think the tone of these is fabulous. I can't wait for more shades to come out. I think a lot of you will be choosing these four. The more adventurous will be choosing this. But you guys saw what this color looks like on the lips mixed together. It's quite pretty. And I don't know, I like it. I like the tone. They're really, really nice. And they actually do work well on the face. Sometimes products don't work multiple places. I will say I like the way this looks right now. I'm sure I'm not going to love the way it feels later, so I probably wouldn't reach for this for the lips. Let's just put a gloss on top, make it feel a little better. The shade isn't bad. A little bit different for me, but it's okay. Yeah, I like the face. On the face, the blush, the contour, that looks really nice. So the fact that it is truly multi-purpose hits a lot of boxes for me. As far as like, is it worth getting the set? I think it is. The only thing is, I wish you could trade the colors and get a set with, I wish you could get this as a set, because this makes sense to me. Even though if you're like, oh, I'm never going to use this shade, then, you know, just pick up the individuals. I would say these three are really important. These are my favorites. This is my, you know, least, I would use this the least, but I want more colors to come out. I think this is fun. You can get your little painter palette with it. It's a lot of like just playtime, you know. The eyeliner I used was not this color, although you could use this as an eyeliner. I'm just not that much of a steady hand to like get out a brush and do the eyeliner with the brush. So I use the About Face Equestrian eyeliner pencil, the Longwear gel liner, and then the MAC Stack mascara, and that was it. What are my thoughts? I mean, I recommend it. If you have the budget for it, I would recommend it. Individually, these are pricey, but if you choose like the right colors, you can use these Carve and Hardest on the face and eyes easily, so you're getting a lot out of these products. I mean, this color I could use every single day. I have it under my eyes right here. I've used it on my lids. It's really good. I will have to do more videos with these to show you exactly what they can do. You might be thinking, hey, can you get these colors in powder form? Do any of these look familiar? Yes. I'm thinking about these over here. We're getting a lot of the same tones, but you know, this is powder and this is liquid. I honestly think you get a lot more payoff more quickly with the liquids, but you lose out on blendability and like being able to recover from mistakes. This is a builder upper. It's not super pigmented right away, but you have a lot more control, and it's, I think, user friendly because it starts out a little more sheer. But you get similar stuff. So do you need both? If you're like, oh, I love powder, I'll never do liquid, then of course don't pick it up. But I think this is really creative. I like where he's going with it. I want to see more. I would also like to move away from mattes, to be honest. I know he loves them. But let's get into other textures. And I don't mean glitter. I want some like shimmer. I want something else. I want my little pop of color here. And I know he has boy tears. I wasn't going to spend that on a pretty basic shimmer product, but I'd like to see some more in that area. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to try other color combinations on the face and eyes. Comment below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.